Hello, and welcome back to the Bay of Sins. It's all coming together now. I can see where all the muggings will take place, and where all the other muggings will take place, and where yet more muggings. It's not just going to be muggings, I promise. There'll maybe be some murders thrown in there. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know how I feel about this. I wanted kind of a more clear wall going on here. I wonder if perhaps I should have put in some more housing to kind of emphasize that, because I don't want an actual wall there. I don't want there to be a real separation going on, but I do want there to be a kind of perceived line between sort of the market district and the produce guild, and of course the sheriff's office, which will go here-ish, sort of over here somewhere. Speaking of, I don't know exactly what I want to do for the sheriff's office. Still, I feel like when I do these streams, it's just kind of me saying, you know, I don't know what I want to do for this, and then randomly plonking something down. I've also decided that I'm going to get rid of all these crates, because floating chain link fences look a bit weird, and we'll put some more beneath them. But I will do that off stream, because I think that would probably be incredibly boring to watch. I think also over here, specifically in the Bay Area, we'll change out some of the fences for these little barricades that we've got. Because I think before the war, this will have been probably some kind of storage slash housing type deal. I don't know. There's a church too, for whatever reason. There's a church there specifically to compete with this church. That's why that church is there. But yeah, I think we'll place these barriers there, because I feel like post-war you could just kind of wheel those around pretty easily. And then the bay can be a very post-war kind of construction. Although then I suppose these wooden planks don't really make sense. But fuck it. I suppose I could, instead of doing that, I could have the bay be a post-war thing too. Maybe that would be better. I have to confess, I mainly thought about the characters rather than the actual island when I conceived of this mod. This doesn't look very smooth. I think it should be a bit smoother. I have to confess, like all my streams, this is the only one where I'm openly admitting it though, like all my streams, I don't really know what I want to do. That's not true. I had a couple of streams where I had thought ahead, and I thought to myself, yes, I'll plan it out, and I'll do this and that and the next thing. This one though, fuck, I don't know. I feel like I need some kind of structure here. It feels a bit empty, you know? But I don't know what to put in there. In my head, I think I've always thought of having this area as like farmland, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I'm not even going to try and put it in. I think basically I'm either going to have to put in more warehouses or more greenhouses, and I don't know which of those I really want to do. I think I'll put in another warehouse actually. I've decided that I want the warehouse just to be here specifically for boat repair and to drop off fish after they've been caught. I think I'm gonna put in an additional dock. Oh, there we are. An additional dock. Oh, good. Yeah, I definitely didn't have all of this selected. Oh, crazy, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm gonna have an additional dock in here. It's gonna be a much smaller dock than the other two, and it will be specifically just there for repairing boats and stuff. I think pre-war it was probably there as well, so that vehicles stored in these warehouses would have been able to get out pretty quickly. This is actually why I wanted the bay over here to be post-war rather than pre-war. You know what, I think we can get away with saying that these boards were put in post-war. I think that's fine. Anyone who wants to contradict me on that, feel free to go ahead. But give me some good reasons. Don't say no. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Because I mean, of course it's bullshit, but yeah. My favorite part about this mod has got to be all the land just magically being flat around buildings. It's just such a happy coincidence, you know? I mean, you might be able to say, oh, I don't know, like, post-war they could have flattened that land out, you know? Not post-war, pre-war, fuck. Look, I'm really tired. I mean, I don't suppose that really excuses it. It definitely doesn't, it's not a valid excuse for my other streams, but for this one, I'm super tired. Well, I've got post-war structures that are just magically on flat land too. I have to admit, while I say things like someone's gonna say, you know, flat land, that's fucking terrible. I mean, no one's gonna give a shit. Come along and be like, wow, all the people in these cities, all the people in this city, they're all pricks. I don't know if I want to put a gate in here just now or if I want to do that off stream, because that's always really fucking annoying. There's going to be a gate here though, I promise. Perhaps instead, I should decide what to put in this massive empty field. Maybe I could put in some kind of training facility. No, I don't like that. I really should have put more thought into what I was going to put here. In my mind, I was like, the greenhouses will take up all this space. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I was wrong. I should have worried about it. Alright, I think we'll do the sheriff's office. I'm getting on to the part now where instead of just randomly placing static around about the place, I'm going to have to do interiors and actually think about what I'm doing, which will be terrifying. I don't know what I want the sheriff's office to be. Part of me was playing around with the idea of it being like a Red Rocket truck stop, which makes absolutely no sense. And I'm not gonna do. But I was wondering about that. I thought that might be good. The other thing I was wondering about was using this again, using this kind of kit to build like an office over here, or rather a house over here. And then I would use the basement as a jail. I would just have like a little hatch. I'm doing like gestures with my hands that you can't see. If you would like to gesture with your own hands, please feel free. Make whatever gestures you would like. For those of you flipping me off, well done on the quick uptake there. Anyway. I don't even know what to search. I want to search shack, but I know that shack will just come up with the wooden and metal shacks again. I don't know if I want to reuse, because I've used the metal shacks for so much already. And I don't want to have the wooden shacks, because they're a bit shit, honestly. They're a bit fucking shit. If I do jail, that's going to come up with all sorts of bullshit, isn't it? Look at this, perfect. Done. Excellent. One thing I am going to do about the sheriff's office is have it, like, flush with the wall. Because Tyken, I don't remember if I've ever mentioned the sheriff's name, but he's called Tyken. Tyken something. I'm sure it used to be Findley, because I was thinking of the StarCraft character. But I'm pretty sure it's been changed to something else now that I don't remember. But anyway, he would have it flush against the wall, just to be like, I can have my building flush against the wall, and you can't. Yeah, I think that's probably enough distance. Alright, this stream's literally just gonna be me sitting looking at this wall saying, what do I want to put here? What could I put here? I don't know. I have no idea what I want to put in here. Maybe I should put something really bizarre and strange. Let me see the static groupings, actually, because perhaps there will be something in there that will make me go, yes, this, perfect. I'm disappointed at just how many decorative houses there are that you just can't use. It's like, why? Please, like these? Well, not that one. That one's ugly as shit, but other ones. The ones I would like. Let me see now. What about metal? Do we have any interesting looking metal, kind of? What's this? Perfect. Part of me does actually want to do like a garage type thing. or a fire station I might be thinking of. Actually what I'm thinking of, if anyone's seen Banshee, the police station in that. Banshee was, I didn't watch all of it, but the parts I saw were pretty terrible. But I don't know if it picked up. It might have picked up. I mean, it was good if you liked that kind of thing. I've not gotten completely off track, but I'm kind of wondering about maybe a repurposed fire station for a police station, because I quite liked that. I quite liked that in Banshee. That was quite good. I'm not seeing anything I want though. He says, looking at things like Metal Top D2 2x1 Win A01. Of course, yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this actually since it doesn't have an interior. Do you want to just do the house kit again? I don't want to do the house kit again. I hate the house kit. House kit just makes me sad. Oh, skyscraper, perfect. That's excellent. Alright. I'm wondering if perhaps instead of architecture, if I need to be looking on something else, perhaps, maybe. Actually, I don't think I do. I want to know what the difference between building and buildings is. Oh, is this what I was looking at before? Oh good, my mouse is frozen. I don't know why my mouse does this, but every once in a while, it stops. I have no explanation as to why it stops. It's a very odd issue. I've not experienced it with any other mouse, just this one. And it annoys the hell out of me. Anyway. I really want to use, like, just a building like this and just plonk it down and be like, haha, done. Good. What's this? I don't think any of these have proper doors. I would like them to have proper doors, because I think I've said this before, I may be misremembering, but I really like in Fallout 4 that you can have exterior interiors. I've definitely not said it like that, if I have said it. This is an incredibly long list, isn't it? Jesus. Alright. Probably want to avoid things that say shell. That would be my guess. Look, we can make our own church. Isn't that nice? Concord Block 2, perfect. I'm not gonna lie. Other than this weirdness, I don't... And this is the window section of the house, where we have all of our windows. Yes, good. Other than that, this is exactly the kind of thing that Tychon would go for. He would literally step foot. He would set foot on the island and be like, that one's mine. I don't care what anyone else says. See that one there? It's mine. Tychon is not a nice man, and any of you who side with him, because you will be able to side with him, any of you who side with him should think long and hard about who you're throwing in with. Those of you who don't take the secret fourth option of killing everyone should consider taking that option. I'm reasonably sure I've talked about that before. I do actually want there to be the kill everyone option. If you just kind of come in and you think, no, I don't want anything to do with any of this. You can just kill everyone. Oh. That was part of my desktop background. Enjoy. I was sure that there was a kit I had found. It was like a brick kit or something that I wanted to use for the sheriff's office. Part of me is wondering about just doing a proper exterior interior type thing, but I don't want to do that. I think what I would really like to do actually is get one of these houses, maybe two of these houses, and they can be connected by boards or something, with a fucked up roof, because I would quite like for him to have people stationed like on the upper floors, like properly up there. Maybe we could do something like that. Maybe we could take this one. Yeah, maybe we could take these two and make these into the office. Perhaps. Actually, I should just leave it as 1, shouldn't I? I think we can do that. I think probably what we'll do is put it here, kind of like this, and then we can use some random debris and bullshit to make it look a bit more unique. And then, you know, 6 out of 10 people will come over and say, yeah, that's exactly the same house as the other ones. It doesn't look special at all. What the fuck? And those people will have very good eyes. Or very average eyes. I don't know. I would love to say those people will have just watched the stream and that's how they'll know, but no. No, it'll be fine. It'll be completely fine. People will look at it and they'll see that there's a quest marker there, and that'll really be what decides whether or not they're going in. My throat hurts a little bit sad about that. Oh, that door is at the perfect height. Isn't it? Just look at that. That is perfect. Maybe we could make it a little bit higher. If we got it to about here, let's say. That is just ideal, isn't it? This is too much of a convenience and a coincidence for me. This is like a version of lazy storytelling, but with landscape editing, somehow. I can't do that. It's too easy. Instead we'll have... I wonder if you could fit through there without ducking. You probably have to duck. That's fine. Possibly what I'll do is extend this house over here a little bit. Okay. I'm slightly annoyed because basically I still have this massive open space and no idea what to do with it. Oh, excuse me. I guess I could put random scenery in there and then somehow figure that into the story. We could have, do we want to have a crashed plane here? I guess not. No, never mind. No, here we go. Do you want this? This might be neat. The great thing about plane debris is that I don't have to make any kind of justification as to why they would be there. It's just like, you know, they fly and it crashed here. It's magic. Don't worry about it. I really want to make this the sheriff's office now. I wonder... Maybe what we could do is just make this work somehow. It's just magic, you know? That would be neat, wouldn't it? Having like a house destroyed in such a way that we could do that? I don't know. I really have no idea at all. Oh, that kind of plane. Okay. I really have no idea what I want to put here. This is where I'm regretting not having really planned out my island. Like before it was kind of working for me. I had a general idea of what I wanted to go where, and I thought, hey, this will work out. I'll just put some stuff in, it'll be no problem, you know, whatever. And then I can nice it up later, and now I'm stuck with this. I don't know what to do with it. Welcome to the stream where I complain a lot about my lack of foresight. If you enjoy streams about people complaining about a lack of foresight, then boy, do I have a treat for you. Also with some excellent music, maybe, you know? I want to just put houses in here. I don't really want to put houses. I want to put houses, but I also don't. I don't want to put houses here because one thing that I really like the idea of is, like the fishermen, when they're done, you know, they'll come back and they'll sort of line up here as best they can to kind of, you know, they'll get off and they'll have like a march through here, along here, and to the Produce Guild, which I love the idea of because it kind of compounds the need that the islanders have for the Produce Guild, you know, their reliance on them. And I feel like if they have to go through sort of a maze of houses or, you know, if they're sort of obstructed or obfuscated by the houses in their way, then that would cheapen it to some degree. So I think I would like to leave this fairly open. Part of me wants to just put like a concrete slab here. I don't know what the concrete slab would be for or why it's there, but it just feels like it belongs. I don't have a good reason. I want to put it in there. Possibly what we could do with that is, if it's large enough, we could put some boats on it and continue the theme of boat repair. Perhaps that would work. Rather than just, you know, putting in a single airplane seat. I said sleet. Airplane, now I'm saying airplane. Airplane sleets. Airplane sleets for everyone. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? An airplane sleet? And now we'll give you the airplane sleet. No, please. Please, I have a family. Quarry slab. Perfect. Alright, there we go. Good. I got something stuck on my fingers now. What is this? For those of you wondering, I'm not entirely sure. I wish I could tell you, but I don't really know. It might have been some sleep. I'm not sure. I don't know if everyone calls that sleep. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like the yellow stuff that you get in your eyes. For those of you who still don't know what I'm talking about, well done. Good for you. Alright, it was warehouse floor. That was it. Oh, I remember now. It's not called warehouse though, it's called like warehouse. There we go, perfect. Perfect. Do you want to put that? No. No, come on. It's this. This is what I was thinking of, having many of these, and then possibly having, you know, tiny little barriers around about the place. I like that. I like that idea. It may not entirely make sense. I think that's okay. My justification being that this could have been some kind of helipad. Why would an area like this need a helipad? Well, let's take a step back and have a look at it. It's a man-made island. I mean, already that's kind of starting to creep into the idea of wealth. You know, someone has made this island, and then they've put all these houses on it. I mean, clearly this is a place for the rich to live. So having a helipad, well, while being like a communal helipad is a little bit odd, I don't think is a weird idea at all. I think that fits fairly well. I feel like the way I phrased that made it sound like that'd be my plan all along. So that's good. I had, in the back of my mind, I felt like somebody rich was involved in this somewhere. The other thing is, since it's an island, I feel like you would need, even though it's close to the mainland, you would probably want some kind of... I cannot think of the right word for this. I want to call it air support, but if I say air support, people will immediately think of, like, bombers and shit. I'm thinking of support for flying vehicles, like a place for them to travel to and from. Because, I mean, like, you know, I don't know where the closest hospital is in-game, but I would imagine you would want some kind of helicopter for that. Especially if these people are rich. Hey, I'm not saying it's a good world, I'm just saying it's the world that this mod is set in, and possibly that we live in. I want this to be a square. I want it to be a square. I like the idea of a repurposed helipad. I don't think it's too out of place, I don't think it's too weird. I think it works okay. Again? Feel free to disagree. Feel free to say, no, I think you're wrong, and here's why. You have to include the and here's why, though, because otherwise, you know... How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 6 this one. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, yes. So... Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to do this. That's right here. Okay. And move this along this way. There we go. That's a square. Fantastic. We've made a square and another house. I've talked before about how surprised I am at how little time has gone by. I'm willing to bet that I'm gonna look over at my timer and it's gonna be like 3 minutes. How does it do that? It's almost been an hour again. I don't. I'm not upset. That's completely fine. I don't really understand how that happens. Here's gonna be somewhere where the terrain isn't flat and you can come and say, oh yeah, the terrain's not flat. Neat. Now we just need to somehow paint a massive H on there. I don't know, maybe we don't. Possibly what we could do is have just some brightly colored stuff. This is where I find out there's already a helicopter pad. There's not. I'm sure there's a helicopter pad somewhere in game. If you can think of where there's a helicopter pad in Fallout 4, please let me know. And let me know that I'm not going crazy, because I'm sure there's one somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's on top of a skyscraper. It might be built in or something, but I'm like 90% sure it's a thing. Maybe if I type in oh look, here, fucking, now I find it. Never mind, you don't need to tell me. That is not a helipad, really. Is this what I'm thinking of? This is absolutely what I'm thinking of. There we go. I mean, I now both do and don't want to put this here. I want to put it here because it's like, oh, that's clearly a helipad. I get what that's about and what the purpose was. But if I put it in here, I then can't put boats all around about. To be fair, I wouldn't necessarily need the boats if I put this in, because then I have a reason for all of this. And the whole thing looks less empty, and it works. But if we put the boats in, it'll be like, it'll be better. It'll just be better. I promise. What's this one? This one is significantly larger. Oh, look at that. Is this the same size? No, mine's a little bit bigger. Okay. Maybe I could do something like this? If someone can justify my having this square over here on the left, that would be great, because I cannot think of any reason for this. The only thing I can think of for this would be having like refueling tanks and spare parts and stuff to bring over to the helicopter. But that still seems kind of shaky. That still seems like bullshit to me. What I would really like is some kind of helicopter decal that I can put on here, which probably exists somewhere within the creation. Actually, no, it probably doesn't. Still, I don't think it would be very difficult to make. So possibly what will happen is I will just make... will I make that? What I'm thinking to myself is it wouldn't be hard to make the texture for that, but I know like nothing at all about meshes. I know that they exist in the game somehow. It's like magic. I don't know. I'm sure I could get that made somehow. Some way. This is still amazingly empty, isn't it? Part of me wants to leave it like that and be like, beach, it's a beach. Post-war, pre-war, it's a pre-war beach where people had a good time. With this fence there. Maybe this is a fucking prison camp and I don't know it. No, it's a gated community. Yeah, it's a gated community. It's that snobby. I'm gonna find out now that all my viewers live in gated communities, and they're gonna be like, wow, fuck you. And I'm gonna be like, well then. Awkward. Actually, what I'll say is, I take it all back. I was just kidding. Gated communities are great. Come on. What do you take me for? I'm gonna sneeze. Or I'm not. I'm gonna be blue-balled again. Unloading zone is a good idea. That makes a lot of sense. The problem is that the island's kind of meant to be self-sufficient to some degree. That's why it's got, well, it's not why it's got these warehouses, but it's why it's got the greenhouses and the. I think the fishing is probably post-war though, isn't it? Becomes more and more clear that really I haven't thought this through at all. That's fine. Now I'm stroking my beard, which again, can't see, but, you know. I want a chopper because, well, because I'm lazy and I don't know what to put here, but I also want a chopper because I feel like rich people should have choppers. That's just how it should work. I don't have a good reason. I don't have a good reason, and I don't know what to put here. So that's good. I can't even think of what, like, beaches that... don't want to call them commercial beaches. They're not commercial beaches. Beaches where you would go to relax. I can't even think of what they have. I live in a coastal town, and I cannot for the life of me think of what I would find at the edge of a beach. So that's good. It's fantastic. I don't know. I think... I think if I put down a helipad, it's either going to have to be to the side, because I still want to use this as a place for boats to be repaired. Like, you know, post-war, pre-war, it would be for whatever. Oh good, my mouse is frozen again. That's great. Oh no, now it's back. I'm glad that my mouse does that. Now I'm just sitting here, paralyzed, not sure what to do. Fantastic. I don't know what I want to put here. I think I'm gonna put the helipad in now. I'm gonna make an executive decision to just put it in. Is this the one I was using? It is, and I remember now. I think we'll put the helipad in, and then later, if I'm looking at it and I think, no, I'll just take it out and I won't tell anyone. It'll be a surprise. Now, I have not seen many helipads, so I'm not sure if this should be level with the unloading zone or not. I think I want the island to have some level of self-sufficiency, but I'm not sure how much, because I don't think it doesn't really fit for there to be fishermen and for it also to be somewhere for rich people to live. That's definitely something that doesn't make sense, but I think perhaps if we have our greenhouses in use, I feel like you could have a kind of coexistence between aeroponics and rich residential housing. Perhaps I'm mad and that sounds completely insane. If that is the case, feel free to say. And I will look at you and say this is an alternate timeline, and that's how it makes sense. There we go, perfect. I think that'll be okay. I have a slums, although it's a post-war slums, but it's a slums of a kind. I even have a wall. It's quite drastic. Anyway. I'm stroking my beard again. Oh, you know what? For pre-war, I don't need a slums, because the island is so close to the mainland. People can commute. That's what people can do. People can commute from the mainland over to the island to come and grow their fucking vegetables. It'll be fantastic. I wouldn't say you're interrupting a recording. This is fantastic. I'm finally getting feedback for things. Oh, no, you keep doing you. And I mean, I mentioned that this is recorded on Twitch. I'm talking to a guy in chat. It's fine. Paladol, I'm talking to you. You with your fantastic name, you. Alright. No, better yet, I can just explain that I'm talking to the voices in my head. It's even better. I don't know what else I want to do. 90% of this stream has been me saying, I don't know what else I want to do. Perfect. Oh, wait, this is a perfect time to do a plug. If you want to see the other stuff, I've streamed making all of this, except the island itself. There's a link to my YouTube channel that has the playlist of making the whole thing. So there you go. There's a plug. Perfect. I feel like I just need to put something down and just go for it, you know? Just put something in, see how I feel about it, and then take it out when I've decided that I hate it. I really hope there's a boat rail. I want to have more boats being fixed in here. On some kind of a boat rail type system. Searching boat was clearly the best way to go there. I have a feeling I'm going to find that there is, in fact, no kind of rail that I'm hoping for. And I'll just be fucked, you know? That'll be the end of it. That'll be the end of the mod. I'll close down the GEC, I'll delete the file, and it'll never be heard from again. I really should have thought out better what I wanted here. What do I want here? You know what? Maybe we should just put some... I shouldn't put rocks there. Rocks would be... rocks might work. I love how laggy the GEC is now. It's fantastic. Oh, it's called the Creation Kit. It'll always be the GEC to me, though. It'll always be the GEC to me, and even older people will call it the construction set, and that'll be fine. I have no idea what I want to put here. Maybe I should put a shack there. Some kind of metal shack. In fact, instead of doing this, I should just take one of the many metal shacks that I've placed and put it over here. I have no idea what... Actually, no. Yeah, this will be fine. Graveyard. Feel the need for one. I hadn't even considered that. Do I want a graveyard? That's a really good point. What do people do with the dead here? Maybe they give them Viking funerals. Part of me wants to just add more to the brutality of the entire place and have mass dumpings of corpses out of boats. This is not a nice place. Unless you have money, then it's okay. But, I don't know, there's all this ocean around. Why can't the sea be our graveyard? Actually, maybe that's an idea. Maybe we can have the poor being dumped out at sea, and I can have like a small plot here for people who are not poor. You're fantastic, Paladil. You're fantastic. Let's put some graves here. That sounds great. Gravel. Excellent. Probably gonna have to search tomb or tombstone. Or gravestone, there we go, perfect. I think if I'm doing this, I probably need some kind of barrier up. I want to make it like a post-war kind of barrier. Which, you know, my excuse for post-war barriers are these, because they have wheels. That's what I'm going with. Don't question it. They have wheels, therefore they are post-war barriers. It's fun. I think I'm going to make this building, since these are going to be... Originally my plan was to have these as headquarters for the Produce Guild, which I think was fine, but since I've got all this empty space, I think I'll make this the new headquarters. It's still close enough for, you know, the kind of... I don't know how to express this. The, like, working people angle. They're close to their workplace, they're not far away from it. I think that's fine, and we can put some graves here as a rich people kind of thing. Or would they have graves in a nicer part of town? I don't know if they would want to come here. It would smell of fish. It would smell of fish and vegetables, because, you know, vegetables have such a distinctive smell. I hate it when I wake up and smell carrots. With that said, I don't actually have anywhere else I can put one. I've actually managed to cover everything else fairly well, except for all this empty space. But that's even worse. That's where people get mugged. No. I think I can get away with this. Probably, since while the Produce Guild profess to be of the people, secretly they're just in the mayor's pocket. I think that'll be fine. We can put some graves here. That's even better, because then people who want to appear as though they care about the strife of the lower classes can come along down here. They can say that they're going down to the Produce Guild, down to the docks, and show their good faith, that they care. That's perfect. Alright. Now, what kind of walls do I want? Let's see if we've got any small barriers. I don't think I want, oh, brar. Yep, that's how you spell that. Barricade panel. Barricade wall. What do we feel about this? This is literally the thing I had before. I want to make this slightly more, well built than something you would just kind of wheel in. I think we can put these in here, and that might be alright. How do you feel about that? What do you think, Paladel? You like that? I'm probably mispronouncing your name. I'm sorry. I think I like that. This. I wonder if I could get away with, like, the kind of gothic fences. The very sharp kind of... I'm of two minds about that, to be honest. Because I want this... I don't know if I want this to be a pre-war graveyard or if I want this to be a new thing. I think I would prefer this to be a new thing. I think in my head that this was only... Those are some good points. I think I want this to be a post-war kind of graveyard, because I think what I want to have happened is to have this kind of recently made before the bombs fell, and then like no one's actually moved in yet. It's just finished, and then everything goes to shit. That seems very fitting for me. I don't know if I like this just because I don't know how post-war friendly it is. I don't know where they would even get it, because I don't think there's a lot of concrete around, really. He says, looking around, noticing a church over there. Good. Oh, one over here. It's a manual barrier. Perfect. Screams graveyard to me. Excellent. Let's just put a lot of these in. This barricade panel. I think I like that. I used that in docks, actually, already. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't like that at all. What about this? That's just the other one without wheels. Come on. You know what I think I want to do? I think I want to use... Let me see if I can find it. I think I want to use these. They're a little bit too small, but something like that. Is there a scrap wall of some description? Because, I mean, that makes it even better, because then clearly we have, you know, our poor people actually building the graveyard, and then only the rich being able to use it. I love it. Now I've searched wall, which of course is going to be a clear, quick and easy way to find exactly what I'm looking for. Good. It's probably called Junk Wall. It was called Junk Wall in the last few things. Oh, there we go. Junk Wall. Perfect. There's definitely a non sequitur angle going on here now. I'm aware that this doesn't really fully make sense, but that's okay. It's a mod, not a DLC, so I don't have to explain everything. I like this one. I don't know if I like that one. I don't know how big I want this to be. I think I want this to be a fairly small plot, actually. I really want this over here. And then we can put in some of these. Fantastic. They're gates, or they're junk gates. I don't know if I want a junk gate, actually. Yeah, no, I don't want a junk gate. I think I want shorter walls, though. I can get tall walls, good. I suppose I could just drag these down a bit. And then we can save our Z position. And do some things. It needs to make some amount of sense. It needs to make enough sense that when people download the mod, they don't instantly go, fuck, the hell. They need to do that later, when all the horrific things happen. There we go. Let's put this over here. Why are there so many tires? I don't want to use that just because there are so many tires, and I would have to kind of come up with some reason for why there are so many tires. The reason, of course, would be, you know, they're magical tires. They're tires that appeared before the Great God Imhotep, and that was that. Alright. Part of me hopes that someone gets angry that these are walls that have just kind of been dragged down into the earth. I don't know why I want that. It's not really a thing I should want, but I do a little bit. Just for no real reason. Just inordinately angry over it. It's not a good thing to want. I'm not proud of wanting it, but I do a little bit. Okay. How is that? I'm not gonna question it, I'm just gonna go with it. No, I'm just dropping the name. I don't know anything about it. That's how you do it, you just mention offhand random names to do with various religions and cultures, and people think that you know about them, but really you've just heard that name somewhere. This looks possibly okay. Oh, that repetition hurts me. But it's okay, that's what we have the find and replace tool for that we're not going to use because it takes far too long for no reason. I both do and don't want this to look extremely cobbled together. Maybe the conflicted nature of how I feel about this will help it to look even worse, and that will somehow help. You sleep well, Pally. You sleep well. Anyway, let's put this in here. Let's change this. Well, now I have a graveyard that I hadn't planned on putting in, but that'll be fun. Oh, no, you know what? This is great. I can have all sorts of clandestine meetings happen at a graveyard, because, you know, if you're gonna have a clandestine meeting, even in real life, I suggest you pick as dramatic a place as you possibly can. like a graveyard. Oh, they have specific corners that I didn't use. Well, shit. Let me see now. I should put this in. There's still so many tires. I don't like there being tires because I don't know exactly where they would get tires from. It seems like an odd thing for them to have. Does it have tires? Yes, it says many tires. What about this? This is the one I got rid of, isn't it? Can we put this in here, maybe? I think this is also the one. Fuck it, it'll be fine. As long as it doesn't look exactly like the one next to it. Which it does, more or less. God damn it. No, that's fine. Alright, I think I only want a few plots here. I don't want this to be an incredibly old town with a lot of people who are already dead. But I think I would like one or two. Let me see if I can... it's a little too fresh. I don't think what I want is... Oh, excuse me. I don't think I want to use any of these gravestones because, you know, if it's a pre-war grave, if it's a pre-war graveyard, then it doesn't make an awful lot of sense for there to be well-produced, well-made gravestones like that. Franklin grave, perfect. What's this? That actually looks okay for a gravestone, because again, I think it would be something that you could do in a post-war. Look, I'm still tired, okay? That's my excuse. Any other kind of indicators that we can use instead of having exactly the same one? Nope. It would... oh. I keep forgetting that the stream can't hear the warning noise. I mean, it would make sense if it wasn't at that angle. Like the kind of manufactured quality, maybe. But, yeah. Maybe we should make them activators and have little funny messages pop up when you activate them. Or is that too old now? That's in literally every game. It's in a lot of games anyway. I don't know about literally every single one, but you know, it's close to that. I think this will be fine. Yeah, that works for me. Alright. So, looking around, I think we're more or less... put them at an angle. Put them at an angle. The point is that they're already an angle. Oh, do you want to put them at an angle so they look different? That's not a bad idea. But my concern with that is... actually, I might use it to straighten them out. If they look somewhat manufactured, I'm okay with that, because I feel like they would be fairly similar. But, it's basically, it gets weird when they're all a jaunty angle. Because then it's almost like they've precisely fucked it up. And it's very odd. I think straightening them out like that's a good idea, though. Thank you for that suggestion, Noctium. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Also, your name's familiar to me. I don't know if I'm having a moment of deja vu, or if I've seen you somewhere before. Anyway. I don't know if I want any more than 3. Do I? I don't know. Anyway, I think I could go for more than 3. Let me see now. I should really figure out how far apart these all are. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should leave them just as they are. And then have them be a little bit imprecise. Because of course, you know, in a post-war society, nobody has tape measure or nothing. That's crazy. If you see anyone in Fallout 4 with tape measure, just ignore them. They're not real. No, I think that's enough. I don't think any more people than that would have died. I think these would have been the people who died getting here, and they would have gotten proper burials for that. And then I think after that, most of the people who died would have been migrants, and therefore unimportant, not allowed to be buried. Or rather than not allowed, just, you know, not buried. Anyway, with that, I think I'm gonna end the stream now. I think looking around, the next stream is probably going to be focused on doing interiors for stuff. We'll probably go back and start over here, just because, you know, we started over here before when we were putting down our foundations for things. And I think that should be okay. I think we'll do our foundations. We'll probably start in here, since this will be one of the more complex buildings, move along, and then start doing interiors all over the place. And then prettying up the place, putting lots of random bullshit all over. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that if you did enjoy, you'll consider coming back. I have a Twitter account where I announce these streams 15 minutes beforehand. I also have a YouTube account where I upload a video 15 minutes before. So, you know, consider following on Twitch, using one of those if you want to catch these live. And I hope you have a fantastic day.